On July 20th, 1993, Vincent Foster's body was found here in Fort Marcy Park in Northern Virginia, just outside of the District of Columbia. How Foster's body got here, even how Foster died, is still not clear.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman, Miss Lewinsky.
And I want the Iranians to know that if I'm the president, we will attack Iran.
We came, we saw, he died. I'm just chilling in Cedar Rapids.
And so here we are. The night of fear and terror is finally upon us, and there's no better way to celebrate Halloween, and quite possibly the last Halloween, by discussing everybody's favorite corrupted politician, Hillary Rodham Clinton. There's so much that has already been said about her, and so much that hasn't been said about her. Some would argue that there's no real point in tearing into her because Trump is for sure going to lose no matter what, and that he's already committed political suicide of some sort. But to that I say, there are still a few days left in the campaign and anything could happen. And I mean anything. Now, before the hardcore liberals start calling me a racist Trump supporter, let me just say one thing. I am no supporter of Trump, but I do think, however, that most of the things he does is fucking hilarious. This isn't a pro-Trump video, but rather an anti-Hillary video. Like, seriously, Trump has made this one of the most entertaining elections in history. Maybe horrifying, but entertaining. But I'm going to try and distance myself from a conservative label by also bringing up some good things Hillary has done. Like, she helped Osama bin Laden get shot in the face? Where the hell do you even start with Hillary? Now, I would attack her for supporting Barry Goldwater, who was the 1964 Republican nominee who encouraged the use of nuclear weapons during the Vietnam War and voted against the 1964 Civil Rights Act. But she was just a dumb teenager then, and that shit was like 50 years ago, so who cares? However, I do think the route to Hillary Clinton's corruption can be linked all the way back to the 70s, when she served in the House Committee during the Watergate Commission to investigate Richard Nixon. It is said that it was there where she learned to keep things secret and to even lie to keep the secret. Now, I would point out old crimes she did, or I could bring up recent accusations that test her character, which is probably more important. So no, I won't bring up Whitewater because there is bigger fish to fry, but I highly encourage you do your own research before you take my word about all of this. Now, I would bring up the magnum opus of controversy that is her emos, but let me talk about a few of the more minor details first. If there is one word to describe Hillary, it's scandalous or putrid. The both describe her pretty well. The Clinton Foundation is a perfect area that deserves much more scrutiny. Donald Trump decided to finally attack it during the last debate, to a decent extent, but there is still much more that wasn't covered. Yes, the Clinton Foundation, which, to its credit, has donated to charities a majority of the time, has been backed by some of the worst people. The foundation is funded by political donors, interest groups, and foreign nations, which wouldn't be bad if some of these nations didn't, you know, tortured and persecuted people with different preferences and orientation and other matters. When Trump confronted Clinton on this matter during the third debate, she ignored the fact. When Hillary Clinton became the Secretary of State, she stated that the Clinton Foundation would stay separated from the State Department, but that was another recline from her original statement. Listen, politicians can't tell the truth 100% of the time. I doubt they even tell the truth 50% of the time. Maybe it's because they're assholes, or maybe because they're trying to keep things from us that would upset us. Because if we get mad at them, they won't get re-elected. Clinton, being the Secretary of State, traveled around the globe forming close relationships with foreign leaders. I can't believe she was doing her job. Nice observation there, Zeep. Okay, listen, the fact of the matter is that there is mounting evidence via emails and other corroborations that show that through her tenure as Secretary of State, Clinton did receive funds in the Clinton Foundation. Many of this and more was discovered in the film Clinton Cash. Clinton Cash has already been debunked, Zeep, according to controltherecord.com.org. Oh, nice pro-Secretary Clinton site there. Now you may be asking yourself, why should I trust a website that's pro-Hillary and constantly blindly defends her despite evidence mounting up that proves she has done terrible things? It's as if some things are biased, but more on that later. Right now I want to talk about the beefiest, the juiciest, and the most thickest of all the scandals, and that is, of course, Hillary Clinton's email scandals. You may think this election is over, but as I write this, new things continue to pop out every day, proving how corrupted Hillary can be. Now I'm sure all of you have watched the video developed by Project Veritas that exposes the Democratic Committee and how they paid people to start fights at Trump rallies. Most notably the Chicago riots a couple months ago. Another video got released a few days ago that discusses a Donald Duck PAC / DNC collusion authorized by Hillary Clinton, which is illegal. I'm sure James O'Keefe will release more videos in the next few days trying to expose Clinton, so watch those for additional information. The WikiLeaks emails revealed that the DNC had always planned for Hillary to be the nominee. They also wanted to attack Bernie Sanders and question him about his religion and if he was truly a Jew. Oh, how about a recent email sent to John Podesta that basically confirms that Hillary Clinton's dream is an open border world, or another email that suggests that the US is no longer democracy. I could mention the 33,000 deleted emails, but since it's, well, you know, they're deleted, I can't say much about them, but it just adds more gas to the fire. Some may say that the reason why WikiLeaks is ignored is because it is not a reliable source, but there isn't really any solid evidence to suggest the emails they release are fake. WikiLeaks has had a perfect track record for 10 years, and I'd even go as far to say that WikiLeaks is more reliable than the mass media. It's possible if WikiLeaks had gotten hold of the emails earlier, we would have had a Sanders-Trump election. But alas, that didn't happen. I would love to sit here all day and read John Podesta's emails, but that would take too long and I don't have time, so it's time to move on to the next topic. I'm obviously joking when I suggest that Hillary Clinton hasn't done much in her life. I mean, she was the First Lady, a senator from New York, and she was of course the Secretary of State. But we can't forget the most important thing she's ever done, according to her at least, and that is being a woman. Now you see, back in 2008, it was quite amazing watching Obama cross the 270 threshold of electoral votes, and watching him giving his victory speech, but if Hillary Clinton wins in 2016, will you be sitting on your couch, cheering over the fact that we're finally going to get the first woman president? The thing with Obama, love him or hate him, is that he was charismatic and not seen as corrupt. That's one of the major reasons why Obama did so well with millennials. He was slick and funny. With Hillary, you just watch videos of her trying to dab, or one of her encouraging people to Pokemon go to the polls, and and I really hate using this term, but you cringe. She tries too hard to get the millennial vote, and I'm very positive the millennial vote will be extremely low this election. Now, you can tell me what's worse, words or actions. The Trump tape revealed that Mr. Trump had quite the naughty language in 2005, but the past 40 years of Hillary and the spectrum she has lived in reveals something much worse. Hillary has called the family of Benghazi victims liars, which seems very hypocritical because she knows a thing or two about lying and protecting liars. Oh hey, Bill Clinton is the only other president besides Andrew Johnson to be impeached due to perjury and an obstruction of justice. And before anyone argues that Richard Nixon should have been impeached for doing much more wrong, even Nixon knew when to quit and resign because he had done highly illegal activities, and he finally came to find out that the president isn't above the law. Hillary calls herself a champion for women, and accuses Trump of sexism and bigotry, but the truth is she really any better? I have to bring this up, and this is honestly disgusting, but Hillary represented a pedophile. A pedophile who raped a 12-year-old girl into a coma, destroying her insides, who she called a liar and mentally unhealthy, and once the pedophile passed a lie detector test, she laughed. Hillary doesn't support females, she demolishes them. Well, Zeep, this is all some type of right-wing conspiracy. The same type of conspiracy nutjobs that think Vince Foster, a White House aide during the Bill Clinton tenure, was murdered by the Clintons because he knew too much. Hillary isn't that bad. The truth is, my fellow peer on politics, when was the last time we've ever had a nominee for the presidency who was under investigation by the FBI, who had her husband meet with Attorney General Loretta Lynch only a few days until the FBI made a decision on whether or not to indict her for any of her crimes? And through the leakings of WikiLeaks, the American people have found more shady shit that surrounds the Clintons. Now, can you please tell me, what's worse? Words or actions? Hillary Clinton is put on a pedestal. She sees herself as someone who is untouchable from justice and criticism. She is helped by the mainstream media, which I once considered the unofficial fourth branch of government. In the 1960s, Lyndon Johnson had a special remote made for him that allowed him to monitor the 3 television news channels, those being ABC, CBS, and NBC, at the same time. Every time he saw his face on the news, he would turn on the audio and listen to what was being said about him. Television has consumed American politics in the past 50 years and has set the stage by focusing attention on one central issue. Back then, Walter Cronkite was reporting on the Vietnam War and how he didn't support it. Now the media has expanded into new territories. They now talk about how Trump's going to grab everybody's pussies or something like that. Now I know that may seem important and all, but how about the media covers the WikiLeaks emails, or how Hillary got questions before a town hall debate that she could have used to her advantage? Oh, you can't talk about that, can you? Because if you do, it'll be exposing yourself as some type of machine that protects Hillary at all costs. Now, you networks probably don't want to be painted as that, don't you? I remember 4 years ago in 2012, I was in 8th grade, Oppa Gangnam styling it the fuck up, and I wondered how people could think the media is biased. I thought CNN did an amazing job at covering Obama versus Romney, but the truth is times have changed and I'm no longer a dumb middle schooler. As you grow, you become more cynical and you start to notice what is right and what is wrong and what is complete trash. Hillary's campaign refers to the media as friendlies and as helpfuls. They even go as far to cut the satellite from people who start to really delve into Clinton.
Hillary Clinton's a liar. She can't be trusted, and now the 2 faces of Hillary Clinton are coming out. The fact, through WikiLeaks, that she says one thing, and... Oh, no.
I mean, at least they're also not hypocritical, right? I mean, they totally didn't say the system was rigged a few years before Trump started to say it was rigged.
The system is rigged.
So I want to be honest, it's not as if it's just Republicans who have monkeyed around with elections in the past. Sometimes Democrats have too.
Oh. What we have here is this flip-flop system known as the media. When video evidence comes out that reveals that there may have been voter fraud, the media often ignores the tape for a few days, and then once it finally becomes viral, they attack it and try to debunk it. But no, you can't debunk solid video evidence. Do you know Project Veritas has some truth in it? Once 2 people who are recorded saying vile things are either fired or they decide to step down. Overall, do I think Hillary Clinton is a bad person? Now, Trump's been accused of not thinking before he speaks, and that's a pretty decent assumption. But Hillary Clinton is smart, and she actually thinks before she speaks, and commits actions that may be detrimental for the future. I will admit that. I mean, she's smart enough to cover up rape, create a private email server, delete 33,000 emails, vote for the war in Iraq, have a terrible war in Libya, have 4 men die in Benghazi, lie to the FBI, and get away with it, all due to her connections. I think I've come up with a decent verdict on Hillary. If I were 1 year older, I wouldn't vote for her. Not to say I'd vote for Trump. No. But there's just something that keeps me from not voting for her. I wonder what it is. I can't quite put my finger on it. Oh, I know. It's something called fucking human morals.